All right. So I want to welcome everybody tuning in. We kicked this off last week, and it was an overwhelming success. Literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people tuned in, and it looks like the same thing's happening tonight. So congratulations for tuning in, and likewise want to welcome everybody that's here in our small little home office in Russell, Kansas. But guys, my job tonight, my goal tonight with everybody here, is really to give you just a quick thumbnail sketch. Just a brief thumbnail sketch on what is 90 for Life, what's Youngevity, what's the buzz, where's the excitement coming from. And guys, I want to hit just briefly a little bit, what our products are, and I really also want to touch on, how to make money. I mean, that's why I got in this, 18, 19 years ago. I know I used to work construction for a telephone contractor, and I dug ditches. I mean, that's what I did. I quit college, I started digging ditches, and I became a foreman of digging ditches, which that's better than just digging the ditches. You get to point to people and tell them, dig that ditch. So that was a pretty upscale thing for me. And so that's what I did. And, when we had our first baby, we had Brooklyn, and almost 21 years ago, practically. And Barb, I was gone every week. I'd leave Monday, come home Friday. And she said, we're not going to do that no more. And she said, we're going to start our own businesses. And I'm like, all right, well, what are we going to do? And she opened up her hair salon, and she had a tanning business, and I actually started refinishing antique furniture for a living. My grandma taught me how to refinish antique furniture, and I kind of got into that. We opened up a antique gift gallery. It was a junk shop out here in western Kansas. It's a junk shop. But if you put antique gallery, a lot of people come off the interstate, so that's what we call it. And that's what we did. And a few months later, we went to market, and we were buying stuff for our gift shop. And some dude talked us into opening a coffee bar 20 years ago in the middle of Russell, Kansas. Trying to sell cups of coffee for $4.50 before espresso was it. Nobody liked it. It was burnt, and the cup's too small. And so we were trying a lot of stuff. And that's when one of my best friends came to me, and we were in the furniture business together. I was also hauling oak furniture at that time. I was a rep for an oak furniture company. And like a lot of people, we didn't have one job. We were doing everything we possibly could. And at that time, we had one baby. We had Brooklyn, and Chance was very newborn. And that's when my buddy walked in, and he said, he gave me a videotape. And he said, Dave, you need to take a look at this. This is network marketing. Check it out. And actually, my best friend, Bert's response was, Dave, look at this. We're going to get rich. And that was his presentation. I said, well, what's it about? Watch the video. And well, how does it work? Watch the video. And that's how I got started in the business. I knew nothing about network marketing. I knew nothing about this business, how it worked. And within a few months, we started actually making some money. Looking back, we actually plugged into a system, which I'm going to share a little bit tonight. But within the next 6, 8, 9, 10 months, things really started to happen, and we were able to shut all of our businesses down. And for the last 16, 17 years, we've been able to do this full time. And I guess that's where my passion comes from. I'm going to talk a lot. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about 90 for Life and the products and that message that we have. But the thing I really want you guys to get is, how you can make some extra money doing this, because I know that's what most people are looking for. And the first thing I want to do, I'm still trying to figure out why I got in this. My wife was, she's here tonight, so this is kind of tough. We don't do a lot of meetings together, but she was really negative she'd been in another network marketing company. She got out of high school and joined a couple things, had a bunch of products. We moved 7 or 8 times. The first year or two we were married, and every closet we moved from, she had another box and another box, and just piles of boxes. And I had no idea, but those were all network marketing companies, and they were all product kits. Because as a salon owner and a girl that's when you cut hair, she said, yeah, I'm just kind of a philosopher. People sit down in my chair and they tell me their problems, and we talk. And she goes, and I sign up and everything. And obviously, I was like, well, Bert was telling me about this one. She goes, whatever. And she goes, what, I wouldn't get in. And she goes, if you do, just don't talk to any of my friends, and keep it out of the shop. Don't tell anybody here, and don't tell our family, okay? And leave the pets out of it. I'm like, okay, who am I going to talk to? So that was kind of my experience. I was like, so my best friend, and like many of you, somebody says, hey, you should look at this. And then all of a sudden I was kind of like, life's not exciting, whatever. I'll keep doing what I was doing. And luckily, my buddy drugged me to a meeting. Maybe just like what you're looking at tonight, and hopefully didn't get drugged there. I literally did. We had a furniture business, and we backed our furniture trailers up in the middle of a hotel in Kansas City. It was a DoubleTree Hotel in Overland Park. And after we got done loading our furniture trailers out, he said, "By the way, there's a thing I was telling you about, that videotape," which this is three months later, and I've never watched the videotape yet. It's just laying in the back of my pickup. And he said, "That thing I was telling you about, there's a meeting tonight, and we're going to go." I'm like, "Dude, you tricked me into going to this thing." So I went, I sat in the back of the room. I knew my wife. I wouldn't even tell her I was going. And I went there. And guys, I signed up that night. I called Barb on the way home. And right at the time I hit Topeka, I called Barb and said, "Listen, this thing Bert was saying, it's for real. I'm doing it." I said, "They got circles and legs and their stuff, and I don't know how it works." And it was probably the worst argument, worst fight we've ever had in that 5 years of being married. But looking back, I didn't understand a lot of how the business works, and hopefully tonight in the next few minutes I can really make it make sense for you, very simple. But the very first thing that the guy did is he drew a big circle on the board, and he said, "If you were making an extra $2,500 a month, what would you do?" He said, "If you woke up tomorrow and won the lottery, what would you do?" If money was just, the finances didn't mean anything anymore, which is, it's kind of hard to think that way, but I'm asking you guys that, and I'm asking you guys here. Literally, if you woke up tomorrow and finances weren't that big a deal, or you had an extra $5,000 or $6,000 that was just in the bank every month, what would you do?
Well, last week I was going to Mall of America. This week I think I'd take us all to Alaska.
Ah, nice. We're
cool.
we're going to Alaska. It's hot in Kansas right now. Alaska sounds good. What else?
My son keeps asking if we can go to Disneyland and meet Mickey Mouse.
Disneyland, of course. Disneyland, Mickey, vacations, travel. What else?
I pay off my house.
Pay off the house, debt. You're probably all alone there. Without anybody else. What else? Help people in need. Help people in need. Charities. Help people out. That's an amazing feeling when you can drop 5 or 10 grand just because you know somebody needs help and walk away and just no big deal. I mean, that's a cool deal. What else?
2-week trip to Dubai.
2-week trip to. I'm going to stick that with vacations because I can change spell Dubai.
Remind me after the meeting. Got a deal for you.
Oh, we do. Hey, okay, what else? I know for Barb and I, time was a big deal. We had 2 kids and a third one on the way. We had all of our businesses. We were working 10, 12, 14 hours a day.
Free car was.
Different car would be nice. Yeah, there was a time in our life, a car that would run, a car that both doors actually
With
opened.
a muffler?
It was nice. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's had cars like that. That's how you get started, right?
Way back at the time I joined, way back when you guys did, I just needed to cover my health insurance.
Health insurance.
For the month.
Yep.
That's a good one right now.
Insurance. What else?
I would love to quit dropping my kids off at a
Ah, no daycare. More time with your kids. What else? What else? Shopping would be nice. I can't believe my mom hasn't said shoes yet. She's got the biggest collection of shoes of anybody I know, and it's not enough yet.
I'm thinking
Which is
Provost
good.
Motor Coach tailgate.
Provost Motor Coach, that's nice.
Chiefs
That's
tickets.
nice. Chiefs
That's right,
tickets,
Chiefs,
season Chiefs tickets, that's fun.
That
Red
was
Sox.
Go Chiefs, go Red Sox. Right. Okay, I don't want to get into arguments tonight, so religion, politics, and sports teams probably shouldn't get into those things.
back then, college funds for grandkids.
College funds, absolutely. Here's what's crazy, is the first meeting I was at. This is really all I remember from it, and it was interesting because everybody there they were talking about all this stuff. And it was kind of the first time in my life that I got out of that mindset of I just hope to survive and not write a hot check to get home. To I actually started thinking of things that, wow, that would be nice. I never thought about stuff like that. I never thought of like goals or dreams or that anything past surviving. And what the guy said is most people want these things. And at a certain point in your life, you realize that this is how much money you make, but these are the things you want. And what most people do is they take these things and shrink them down to fit their income. So if you make $42,000 a year, then you know out of these things what you can give to charities, how much time you have off, what kind of car you can have, what kind of vacations you can go on. And you mentally, you put yourself in this box. And sometimes when things like this come along, it's easy to say, well, it's too good to be true. No, that's for the other guy. So, well, no, you are the other guy. It's just most of us are stuck right here. That was me. And luckily, I had a friend, that he kind of he said, you can take your income and increase it to fit the things you want, just as easy as you can, and to decrease these things down. It's the same energy. Doing that makes you happy. Doing this just makes you mad. That's why people don't like to go to work. They don't have enough time. Their bills aren't paid. The job that they have is only to just pay the bills. Here's a question. Talking about dreams and goals and winning the lottery and making extra money, which again, that's my favorite part of this business right now because I know where I was when I got in this. I didn't have any money, and I was running as hard as I could. If you guys woke up tomorrow and there's a special trip that comes up, or fridge goes out, transmission falls out of the car. Eric, you were talking about the thing you were doing with videos, and the first thing you said out of your mind, they're so expensive. I mean, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you had to have an extra $800? Had to have it and you don't have it. How do you get it? Garage sale, what else? Borrow it, what else? You gotta have it, you can't not have it. Credit cards?
Work more?
Work more? Steal it, yes. Always in Kansas, somebody always says steal it. That only happens west of Kansas. When you get east of Kansas and do meetings, nobody does that. What else? Anything else?
Pay swap.
Yeah, just sell things, borrow it. Ask family members, which is kind of like charity, but we won't get into that. Here's what's crazy, guys, is I've been doing meetings for probably 17, 18 years. And, we ask that question all the time. Well, what would you do if you had to make extra money? And guys, the only way we know how to make extra money is to work more. We don't know anything else. We don't know what leveraging our time means. All we know is if I work 40 hours, I get paid 40 hours. And if I want to make more, I got to work more. True? We don't know nothing else. So when something does come along that can make you extra money, or something like this that can make sense, you almost got to short circuit your own brain so that you'll actually look at it and it'll make sense to you. And that's a lot of what this, what we're going to talk about tonight. But guys, this is my favorite part of the business. And it's network marketing. I'm lucky that somebody shared this with me when I was, in my early 20s. Had no idea what it was or how it worked. And within about 5 months, I quit all my businesses, and I've been doing this ever since. So I have a big passion for this industry and why it works. I was told there's a recipe, just like if you're baking a cake or baking cookies. If you put in the right ingredients, you get the results. That's how I was taught in this thing. You know what? I did that, and it worked. And that's why, I know it works. It's just a matter of getting people's own brain to like, oh yeah, I should do that. If one of my favorite parts of this business is the fact that it lets you leverage. I'm a terrible speller. That it lets you, I should actually do a whiteboard presentation with a red pen because that's usually what happens to me anyway. It gets marked red. Leveraging your time. If you guys worked 40 hours this week, how many hours do you get paid for? 40. And if you want to make more money, what do you do? Work more hours. That's how we are. That's why so many people are attracted to this business, because we talk about a home-based business. We talk about part-time home-based business. We talk about leveraging your time. If you work 40 hours, or if you work 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 5 hours a week, and got paid like you worked 40 hours, the same amount of money, is that okay? Because that's what network marketing offers. Or if you worked 3 to 5 hours and got paid like you worked 120 hours for the week, that's network marketing. And that's sometimes why people say, well, it's kind of too good to be true. It's like, no, it's because you think the only way to make money is if you work 48 hours, you get paid for 48 hours. And I got a little overtime. Well, what if you work 3 to 5 hours a week and got paid like you worked 292 hours for the week? That's network marketing. And that's how people do make big money in network marketing. And it's not a matter of, I had a guy tell me when I first joined this business, he said, you could take the next 5 years of your life and count how many meetings you do or how many people you talk to in this business. And he said, after that 5 years, you're going to be making a certain amount of money, and you're going to have, how many meetings you did or whatever. And he said, I'll show you how to do it in the next 90 days. He said, that's all it is. He goes, you can find in the nooks and crannies of your life how to do this business if you have the right system. He said, most people take 5 to 10 years to do it. We'll show you how to do it in 90 days. I'm like, okay. And that's exactly what happened to us. We got to experience real early this, a very part-time business that can pay you really big money. And again, sometimes that's why people say, well, if it was that easy, everybody'd do it. And I don't know why we have that mindset, but we all do. And sometimes even the people we talk to are that way. And that's why for me, one of the first things I try to explain to people is this part. Network marketing's been around 50 plus years. There's old companies. Everybody's heard of some of the older companies. A few of them hit $1 billion in sales. Many of them have amazing products, but the timing's kind of gone. Because if you mention those companies, a lot of people have heard of them, which are still great companies. And there's also brand new companies. And statistically right now, 95% of new companies that start will go out of business their first 2 years, which kind of gives it a reputation of, well, I got in that, but it didn't work, or I got in that and it went away. So there's always kind of that battle within network marketing. And when Barb and I got involved with Youngevity, it was about a 16-year-old company, which is what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. But that 16-year-old company was doing about $16 million a year in sales. Very small company. Nobody really heard about it. They built up a product base, which I'll share with you in a second. But all of a sudden, over the last 2.5 years, that little $16 million company, it went to a $50 million company. And then about 6 months later, it went to an $80 million company. And about 8 months later, it went to a $120 million company. And that's where we're at. We're in this growth phase right now, where literally all you really have to do is open your mouth, because there's so many great things within the company, everybody gets in it. And that's what happens in a company when it hits momentum, and that's kind of what we're in. And guys, all network marketing is, all this is people recommending and promoting stuff that they like and use. That's it. We all do it every day. If you go out to eat at a nice restaurant, if you go somewhere and shop, if there's something specific that you like to do and you tell other people about it, you're recommending and promoting products. That's all this industry is. And the other part that I like about it is the fact that it's residual income. There's not many things that let the average person do something that you can actually walk away from at some point, or not work the business and still get paid for it. Out here where we live, there's a lot of oil production. And Junior, you're in the middle of it. You working it all the time. And people spend 50 to 100 grand they'll drop to drill an oil well, just hoping there might be oil. And if they hit, good. If they don't, they lose their money. But if they hit, what do they get every month? They get an oil check every month. Authors that write books, musicians that make a CD, they do the work one time, but they get paid a whole bunch, many, many, many more times. And that's exactly what network marketing does. That's why it's so appealing to people. Because you can't go to your boss and say, listen, I need some extra hours, but I'm going to work less. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And that's so all we're in is this work mode and work mode. And that's my favorite part of this business. It's so part-time. It's so part-time and it's so easy because everybody's already doing this. So when it comes to Youngevity, and most people that look at the program, I can show you in 5 minutes how to make a ton of money, and I will. But most people's first response is, well, what are the products? Dave, I have to believe in the products. I have to use the products. I have to know the products are going to work. And the only way I know that you're going to know that is to use them, and then you'll know they work. But to give you just a little background, guys, when we got involved with this program, we had a chance to visit with Doc Wallach, and kind of in depth and in detail. And he said, Dave, I was 25 years old. And he said, I was fresh out of a veterinarian school. Dr. Joel Wallach went to be a vet. Many of you may have heard of his, he had a cassette tape back in the mid-90s called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And it was one of the first times that they figured out that, people who have challenges and get diseases and different things, the main challenge is their body's deficient in something. And what Doc told us is, he said, I was 20-some years old. He said, they gave us over a $20 million grant. He said, I was the guy flying around with Marlon Perkins in the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom shows. And he goes, and we would dart giant animals. That was our job. We'd find animals in Africa and in the wild that were sick, and we'd fix them. And he said, and just, Dr. Wallach's, he wrote a book. And he cured over 900 diseases in animals. It's in our Smithsonian Institute. It's one of our national treasures in the United States. It sits in the Smithsonian. Cured 900 diseases in animals. Cured them. And he did it all with nutrition. He did it all with supplements, trace minerals, things that the animals weren't getting from their food. They supplemented them, fixed them. And he got fired up and said, why can't we do this in people? And the medical community literally shunned him, and he literally left the United States. And he kind of got booted out. And that started his 40-year journey of what we now know as 90 for life. 90 for life is the 90 essential nutrients we all need. If you have them, you feel amazing. If you don't, you don't. And most people today get between 6 and 10 of the actual nutrients that you need to make your body run like a top. You all know what it feels like to feel good. And there's some days you're just like, no, I feel amazing. And there's other days you want to crawl in a corner and take a nap. And what Doc says, it's the minerals. It's the supplements. It's the things in your body. The food we eat nowadays, it doesn't have the same stuff as it did 20, 30, 40 years ago. Right now in the United States, we're one of the most obese countries in the world because of, obviously our diets and stuff, but we're also not getting the right things so that our bodies can fix itself. Diabetes is another big one. Used to be something people got when they're 50 or 60 years old. Kids that are 7 and 8 years old now are being diagnosed diabetic and put on medication. And this is where Doc just goes absolutely crazy because it's the simplest thing. It's the simplest things out there. And hopefully one day, everything will catch up and common sense will prevail. It's amazing that you can buy a bag of dog food and it breaks down right on the front how much nutrients, how much protein, how much nitrogen, how much it tells you what your pet's going to get. And we go buy a box of cereal and it has nothing. There's no life in it, zero. We put junk in our body and wonder why we feel like crap all the time. The United States, out of all the countries, we are number 71 right now in overall health. If you added up every single other country's healthcare system, ours alone would cost more per person than every other country's combined together. Ours costs more. And it's messed up. People are sicker today than they've ever been. People don't know what to do with all the stuff. It's like we expect to be sick. And they talk about our healthcare system. It's not a healthcare system. It's a sick system because so many people are sick. And Doc says it's the nutrients. And when you really start to get into and understand the 90 for life concept, it just blows your mind. The phrase, an apple a day. What if it's true? I mean, what if it really is that simple? And to cure 900 diseases in animals by just simply the minerals and supplements, and then all this, obviously with people it's different. How do you guys watch television and see the commercials on TV that talk about drugs that you can get? I think they have one for about everything now, and they're making up a bunch of new ones. You sit around watching TV and your arm's moving around, and the television guy says, hey, are you watching TV tonight and your arm's moving tonight? And you're like, hey, it is. Like, we have a drug for you. And it doesn't matter what it is. Are you wearing a blue shirt tonight? Oh, we have a drug for you because blue's not good. And what do every one of those commercials say at the end of them? Side effects. Every one of them have the side effects of what? Death, will cause suicide. The top two prescription drugs advertised on television for depression, #1 side effect, suicide. And you know what? We believe in that. They're the biggest companies in the world. They are the biggest billion-dollar companies in the world because we don't know what else to do. If you get sick, what do? You're scared. You go with the flow, man. You're going to go to the doc. You're going to do what they tell you to do. They got this spot in your body. We're going to cut you open and rip it out. Well, what if all you had to do is eat a couple oranges or something? People have a headache. What do people take? 99 out of 100 times, what do people take when they have a headache? Yeah, your body's not Tylenol deficient. It's yelling at you saying, hey, you need this or this or this or this. And that's Doc's message. That's the 40-year message of 90 for life. Now, along with the 90 for life message, which the BTT, you guys will hear the word BTT all the time. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine, we have over 1,000 products. And it's still #1, and I think it's been #1 since they created it. This is loaded with the 90 essential nutrients. It's an amazing drink. It comes in peach or cherry, and you mix it in water and you drink it. And it absolutely, and that's what we love about the business, is when people do join and try the products, they fall in love. They get on them, they feel amazing. If they quit taking them, they feel terrible. Like, good. I mean, that's part of the business. The only way we make money in this is when products move. Well, then why not have amazing products that people want to take, that create emotional responses in their life? So that's what 90 for Life's about. In addition to the 90 for Life and those products, like we said, if Barb was up here doing the meeting, she has said it 1,000 times. You switch where you shop. You know, with over 1,000 products to choose from, we have product categories that really touch anybody and everybody. Many of you have heard of scrapbooking companies out there. You know, the different scrapbooking companies. Some people love to scrapbook. Guys, this company has an entire scrapbooking company. We have a mineral makeup line that is touted as one of the most healthiest makeup lines you can put on your face. Coffee, chocolate, there's gift items, tons of foods. There's food companies that have come on board. It's literally, I was at a meeting a couple weeks ago, and they said it's literally the Amazon of network marketing, because that's kind of what it is. If it's in your house now, we have it. If you're buying it somewhere else, you're probably not getting paid for it. That's network marketing. So how many people can we share that with? Guys, that's the whole business. And if we have products like that, that when a person joins, they have that emotional response and they're like, oh yeah, this is good, then they want to share it with other people. That's part of the bit. You have to have good products. There's a lot of companies that people get excited about and they get involved, but if I'm not going to use the products each month, I'm not going to tell anybody about them. So the products not only have to work, but you have to believe that other people really need to use them. And guys, Dr. Wallet's message, the 90 for Life message, it's ridiculous. And it's so easy. It's so simple. Barb was just telling me today, just tonight, an hour before the meeting, of a girl that we know. She had Crohn's disease. Somebody sampled her and gave her some of the BTT, and within 2 days, no symptoms, done nothing. And she goes, and I ran out of my sample. 4 days later, she goes, came back. And she goes, and I can give you testimony after testimony after testimony. My buddy Efren Gonzalez in Las Vegas lost 67, 69 pounds his first few months in the business. All he did was take this. And Doc said the reason is, when you get up at night and have those cravings, your body's craving nutrients. So you'll eat a whole bag of Oreos trying to find a little bit of selenium in it. Okay, it's not in there. And then, yeah, we all have that. But what happened to F is he took the stuff and the cravings went away. No more cravings. So the products are amazing, but the only way you know that is if you take them. So that's what leads me to this. Guys, Youngevity is right now a 17, 18-year-old company. We just cracked well over the $100 million mark. We've gone from 16 million to over 100 million. Took them 16 years to get to 16 million. In the next couple of years, rocketed to over 100 million. And I'll show you guys why that is, and how why it's so cool to be a part of that. We're a publicly held company. The last 8 months in a row, each month has blew away and broke every record the company has had. And as a publicly held company, the numbers are out there in plain view for everybody to see. So we have tons and tons of products that everybody's already using. Like Barb said, all you really do is switch where you shop. But what most people want to know is, when they join, well, how does the money work? How do I actually make money? Because you can learn about the business. Doc Wallach has a jillion YouTube things. With the internet nowadays, you can learn anything and everything. There's so much information out there about the products we have. The Dead Doctors Don't Lie, CD, and all that information is online. But the best way is to use it. The best way is to get started and use it. Most people don't know how bad they feel because they felt bad so long. And they use the BTT for a day or two, and they're like, oh my God, this stuff's amazing. It's like, no, you're just run down, man. And if you need 90 essential nutrients, and after, and you're only getting a few of them, and after a few months, it's no big deal. But after 2 or 3 years, after 5 and 10 years, after 15, 20, 25 years, the cartilage goes away, the aches and pains come, the challenges come, all the stuff starts to happen. And Doc's like, just take the right stuff. None of that stuff will happen to you. So that's the kind of products we have. So, with that said, You know, it's impossible in a 30, 40-minute presentation to, I feel, ever like do justice for Wallach and the products. And that's why I'm always encouraging people, just take it, man. Take it. And I always say at the end of the meeting, you know, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You use it all. Dump it in your yard. Send it back. We'll give you your money back. But people don't do that. And sometimes it takes that, you know, philosophy just to like, dude, try it. You'll feel different. You need this stuff. So with that said, how do you make money? The only way you make money in network marketing is when products move. How did a company that was 16 years old, and when you guys get this, you won't sleep tonight. You'll figure it out. And this is why we're so excited and just building our business bigger than we ever have right now. How does a company go from a 16-year-old, $16 million company to, in the next couple years, it goes to a $120 million company? Literally grew 5, 6, 7, 8 times in just a matter of months and not years. And what happened was a few years ago, a group of people got involved in the company, and right now he's the current president of the company, Bill Andreoli, and they said, what if we do something that when people join the business, it actually triggers every single thing to work as far as network marketing goes. And my point is this, a lot of people can get involved in network marketing programs and they join for nothing, or they join for $20, and they can sponsor 100 people for nothing, or for $20, and nobody ever makes any money, and nobody really, even if you join at that level, know what the products even are. And he said what happens is there's a lot of statistics. A lot of people get in these things and they're in and they're gone and they never did anything. So people come to him later and say, well, you know, I'm in this field and I'm excited about it. And you go, yeah, I was in one, it didn't work. And he said, what if we could eliminate that? And what they came up with was a CEO pack. And that's the one thing that they made different in the last 2.5 years. The only thing. It's how people came in the program. And if you guys get this, this is the whole business. I joined a company 19 years ago. Cost $1,035 to join. What do you think my first goal was when I got in and Barb was mad at me?
Get your money
I
back.
want to get my money back. Guys, it makes people take a serious look at the business. And when you do, and you see how it works, it clicks. Most people are network marketing companies. They don't even know how the company they're in works because nobody showed them. It's no big deal. It's like the next thing smoking through town type of feeling. It's like the dollar lottery ticket. If you don't win, it's okay. You're not going to go jump off a bridge because you didn't win the scratch 'em ticket. And that's how people treat these businesses. When you treat it like a business, it's different. And luckily for me, that's how I was taught when I joined. But what Bill said and what the team said when you join the program, why don't we put a kit together? And the kit is, and you can get in this for as little as $10 if you want. They have a $10 option. You can join for $10. But you don't get any products and you can't make any money. So why would you join? To say you're in? That's stupid. And the only way you make money in this business is when products move. The only way people know they're good is by using them. So why not put a kit together that showcases the best products the company has? We have thousands of products. Let's showcase the best ones. So if I sponsor my best friend or somebody in my family and they use them, they go, this stuff's amazing. That's a good result. So they put together a CEO pack, which has it has close to $600 worth of products in it. So you get good value for your money. But guess what happens when people join the business? What's the first thing they think? I want to get my money back. It's $500. So, and again, there's other ways to join, but I simply won't sponsor people at other levels. Because I don't want them to be a statistic. I want people to make money. I want people to use them. I want people to get the full meal deal out of this thing. Like I did. My friend, he gave me that videotape, and when I told Barb how much it was to get in, it was even worse. She's like, man, I feel sorry for you and Bert. I feel more sorry for Bert because he sponsored you. What are you thinking? We don't have that kind of money. It was that, but she didn't see what I saw. And once she understood it, Barb invited like 47 people to our first meeting when she got this part. Because I know you had, right out of high school, you joined a program sponsored like
52 people.
52 people into a program. Biggest bonus check in 2 years, $64. That's what people think of network marketing. So when they came out with the CEO pack, their goal was, number one, what do you get? You get the best products the company has. It's good. But more important, it's like you made a business decision. It's like, well, I need to know how this thing works. And that's exactly what started to happen. So if you sponsor, you actually make about $125 for each person you sponsor. So if you sponsored 4 people, you make your money back. Make sense? So let's say you sponsor Bill, Sue, Mary, and Joe. What's their goal when they get in? Make their money back. They got their CEO pack, they got their kit, they got all their products, they got their stuff. Same thing. They want to sponsor a few people, get their money back. And guys, we have a system, we have trainings, we have videos, we have meetings, we have Ustream. We have every way you can possibly imagine to show this program to people. Showing it's easy. What's their goal when they sponsor people? Guys, that's the whole deal. That to me is network marketing. In the first program we were in, that's why we were so successful. I wasn't very good at it, but everybody wanted to get their money back. It was $1,000. And I wanted them to get their money back because I didn't want them mad at me, like come and beat me up and stuff. 24-year-old snot-nosed kid just took $1,000 from me. And go beat the tar out of me. We wanted it to work for people. And that's what happened to our business. We sponsored 3 or 4 people who sponsored a few, who sponsored a few. I sponsored 11 people my first 90 days in network marketing. What did they all want to do? Same and same and same. We had 402 people in our organization our first 3 months. We brought in 11. Guys, that's network marketing. That's when there's a trigger. That means something happens. You know, there's a lot of programs out there where they have amazing products. And when you join, you get a bunch of amazing products. But you have to hit all these levels before you make any money. You're at the 5% level. You know, until you sponsor your mom's cousin's brother-in-law's aunt who was in one once but then quit. If she was in one and didn't quit, you don't get all the full money. But if she was, you get 20%. They have so many rules, nobody can make any money in them. And this company said, hey, if you join at the CEO level, you max out every bonus the company has from the day you join. Why don't we just make it easy? So if the only way you make money is when products move, when people join, you make a commission off that. When they first join, you make about $125. So does everybody else. What the company also said is what most companies do. In order for you to qualify for bonuses every month, you've got to move $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 a month in personal business. The more you move, guess what? The more you make, which is good for the company. But you know what? There's only a few people can do that. So what Youngevity said is, why don't we just tell people, why don't you find $100 to $200 a month that you're already using somewhere else, find some products you can use, and do that every month. If everybody moves $100 to $200 a month, you will max out every bonus the company has. You don't have to do anything else. Done. You don't have to have a jillion retail customers. You don't have to move thousands of dollars a month in product. You can, but you're going to max out the bonuses just doing this. You don't have to do anything else. And what that did is it just opened the floodgates. People started to understand that's network marketing. And what happened is people started to also understand that's why the one I was in didn't work. So, okay, I can see no one's excited, nobody on the deal is excited yet, so here we go.
I'm just trying not to interrupt.
I know, that's very tough for you.
And I have people watching Ustream on their phones.
So, it's $4.99 to join. You sponsor a few people, you make your money back. That's our goal with people. Because if you sponsored 4, who got 4, who got 4, who sponsored 4, who sponsored 4, I mean, progressively, that's how network marketing works. It doesn't happen like that ever in real life. But that's the concept. If I sponsor a few people, who sponsor a few, who sponsor a few, say I have 50 people in my whole group, what are they doing every month? They're moving their $100. I'm getting paid on that every single month, whether I do anything or not. What if I have 782 people in my group? What are they doing every month? Moving products. And guys, in this business, they don't stop at 100 to 200. That's why the company did this, because they know if they start using the products, they'll order more. And that's what happens. People start to, well, man, this stuff's good. I'll try this. I should try this. I should try this. People's average orders aren't $100. They're $300, $400. They really do switch where they shop. When the products are that good, guys, That's network marketing. In a lot of programs, you could have 1,000 people in your group, but only 20 of them bought products last month. Well, you only made money on 20 people. If I'm going to do the work and build this business and have 1,000 people in my group, I want all of them on the products. And that's what this company did. And it rocketed from a $16 million company to right now over $100 million and growing. Biggest month so far we've ever had, ever. 3 times as many CEO packs have gone out the door this month than ever in the company's history, ever. Things are smoking right now. And the reason is because people are starting to understand this. You know, a lot of network marketing programs you see that you check out. You know, people talk about the products. That's all they talk about. You have walls set up with the products and products and products and products and products and products. And you know what? A lot of people say, well, before I get in, I'm going to try the products. Why? Why would you just get in? That's how you try the products. Our industry is so different. It's so backwards. When you join this business, it's probably your first experience of trying the products at the same time. And what happens to most people is that's where they get stuck. They never know there's a way to make money. They become a statistic in the industry. And that's what one of Barb and I's biggest passions are, because we weren't. I was 23, 24 years old doing construction and selling coffee, and it wasn't working. And if somebody wouldn't have showed this to me like this, I wouldn't have been excited about it. Why would I have done it? I don't want another job. I'm 24 years old. Vitamins? I don't need vitamins. What are we talking vitamins? I remember asking my best friend Bert, $100 a month, what are they going to send me? And my buddy Bert says, well, what if they sent you $100 worth of tennis balls and they paid you $200 for using them? I'm like, well, so we have tennis balls? I mean, I didn't get nothing. I didn't get the business. But his concept was that's network marketing. Okay. Just since there's so many tuned in here, a couple quick things. Number one, if you personally sponsor 12 people, you'll be qualified for a free car bonus. So don't stop at 4, go to 12, you get a free car. Pretty cool deal. Starts at $300 a month, and I think it goes to what? $1,000 a month. I don't even know the comp plan.
Or keys, title, and dream car of your choice.
Or keys, title, and dream car. We're going to start with just free car. Okay. So here's what I really want you guys to get tonight, because I know people. I mean, the products to me, again, today's day and age with the internet and research and the people that you're probably chatting with, and after this meeting here, I guarantee you, everybody that's sitting here after the meeting, the first thing we'll all start to talk about is the products, because that's what people do. That's what's tangible. That's what I know I'm going to take. Well, how do they work? Well, what is it? And this and that and this and that. I want you to get this part, because you'll make a ton of money. And I know that's why a lot of people look at this business. It doesn't have to be a ton of money. I don't care what it is. I like a ton of money. That's just me. So whoever's showing you the plan, I really encourage you to ask them about something called an SEMD. Because becoming an SEMD is really important. It should be your first goal. We have people that have done it their first week, their first month. If you sponsored 3 people who each brought in 3 people, you would be an SEMD. Make sense?
Yes.
Here's what the company says. I am now an SEMD, and I sponsor a new person. What's his goal? He sponsors a couple people. What's their goal? Sponsors 1, who gets 1, who sponsors a couple, who gets 1, who gets 1. All of a sudden, I had 17 people join. This person, this is Joe. I sponsored him after I was an SEMD. Joe had 17 people join this group. Here's what the company says. And they do this to encourage you and me to help the people we sponsor. As the company says, out of this $4.99, we'll take $100 for every single person, whether you sponsor them or not. Since you're the upline SEMD, and we'll give you an extra $100. So your coding bonus, they call it a coding bonus. Your coding bonus for that month will be an extra $1,700 because you're the upline SEMD. Make sense? SEMD is not hard to do. What if you're an SEMD and you went out and sponsored 3 new people? And what if those people sponsored a few, who sponsored a few, who sponsored a few, which is happening right now? What if you had 250 people join in your new groups in a month, and you're the upline SEMD? It's 25 grand. Guys, that's how people make a ton of money in network marketing, because they can, because the plan lets them. In most companies, it's one guy. In most companies, it's one guy at the top who's like, I made all this money, whoa! And the next closest, ask people in companies that, what's your number one guy make? And then say, what's number two make? The difference, huge. You can join this company right now and pass everybody in it if you want to. That's what's so cool about it. And everybody can do it because you join for $4.99, you find a few products you're already using. You're maxing out the bonuses in the company. Just tell people about it. And you'll find a few products you like based on who you are and what you do. But there's nothing else like this in the industry right now. I've been doing this 20 years. We were members of the DSA for 7 or 8 years. We owned our own company. There's just nothing like it. There's nothing that pays like this. That's why the company's gone from 16 million to 120 million. People like that. I mean, when it's successful like that, people, they don't want to keep it a secret. It's not that feeling of, oh, I'm in that network marketing deal. I don't want to tell anybody though. You know, you kind of like to prejudge them. You're crazy. There's a window of opportunity right here, just like the guy told me. Well, why not do in the next 90 days what most people do in 10 years? Just get it done. Why not sponsor a few, who get a few, who get a few, and put 1,000 people in your group? Get your check to 10 grand a month. With everybody that's in your group just moving products, throw the coding bonus out. Throw the bonuses out when you sponsor people. You make around $10 a person, 10%, 8 to 10%. If people are ordering 100 or 200 bucks, you're making 8, 10, 12, 20 bucks a person. If you have 1,000 people, 10, 20 grand a month. Doesn't matter how they got there. And you know what happens? What happens next month if I don't do anything? I still get paid. There's a lot of companies that say, well, you've got to sponsor 5 people to get at the 2.5% level. And if you get 6, we'll get you to the 9%. And they're like, nobody can do it. And what Youngevity says is, let's just make it something that everybody can do. That way I feel good telling you about it. You know what I mean? Because you got to feel good. People are smart. We're blessed with common sense. And it's nice when there's actually something that works and it feels so good, you want to share it with other people. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, worst case scenario, you get in the business, you get a few products and you try them and you don't like them. I don't know how that could happen. Maybe you take an omega-3 and it gets caught in your throat. And you're like, man, the omega-3's got super glue on it. I choked to death or something. Or you try the tangy tangerine and it turns your tongue red. You're like, I hate red. I look at I stick my tongue out at work all day and my tongue's red. And I don't like red tongue. I want my money back. I don't know what the deal is, but you want to get your money back. The Y on my box is upside down. I want my money back. It's so crazy what people say and people don't do that. I mean, worst case scenario, you get in, you don't like it, send your stuff back in the first 30 days, you get all your money back. That's a cool deal. Best case scenario, it's happening right now for people. There's people joining this business right now that are replacing their income in 30, 60, 90 days. I got a buddy in Wisconsin. His name's Noah Sigmund. Noah and Anna, 24, 25 years old. Everybody in the company started to hear about it. I think their group has popped over 500 people right now. If not, it's real close. They joined last December. Guys, there's a story after story after story after story. Good friend of mine, Fred Van Loo, been in the industry 37 years. 37 years. He joined this thing 7, 8 months ago. He's the #1 guy in our specific organization, volume-wise. Going absolutely crazy. He said, I've been doing this 37 years. I've never seen anything like it. And the guy's just going crazy. And he's sponsoring everybody. Because that's the feeling. When you have a feeling like that, a company does hit momentum. And guys, that's what we have right now. I just don't want people to miss it. I know it's not for everybody. If it ain't for you, then don't get in. It's cool. Not everybody gets in, and that's okay. But you're going to miss it. Because it's happening right now. There's people in network marketing that look for years just finding the right company. I want to get in at the beginning, ground floor. I don't care when you join a company. If it's a good company, it's up to you and you can make a ton of money. But when you can throw timing in on top of it like we are right now, it's just like putting gas on the fire. It's fun. It just makes it fun. So best case, you join and sponsor 5 or 6, 10 people. And they all do what? Same thing, man. What are they doing every month? Moving the products. They find a few they like. They start to have their own testimonies. I can't wait to share it with other people. All of a sudden, 12 months later, you got 722 people in your group. You sponsored 20 of them. You're making 7, 8, 9, 10, 15,000 a month. That's happening right now for people. People that have been in the business for a few months, when I go to their meetings and I show up, they're like, oh my God, look at my checks. I've never made this much money before. But I know that's not all it's about. In this industry, it's really, it's 50% about the product, and in my opinion, 50% about the opportunity, because it is a network marketing opportunity. Most people just don't understand how they work, or the products that they have. They're not products people can use every month, or they're not products that they feel comfortable telling people about. You're not going to be successful, no matter what. What Youngevity has, guys, they've solved all the problems. Let's say you simply sponsor 3 people. Say, Dave, I'm busy. I have a full-time job. I have a family. I have a wife that's negative, just like you. I don't know about this thing. And you get in just because of time.
Negative anymore.
I know. See, that's why we can't do meetings together. But there's actually in this program, you have the freedom to actually, if I sponsored a few people and say that I know somebody in a certain town and I sponsor more people in that town, I can actually place people under people. So there's actually a placement opportunity. We should call it spillover. People could actually be placed in your organization. And based on timing, I encourage people, if you're even thinking about it, get in. So don't miss that. But say you sponsor 2 or 3 people in 3 months. Let's be as realistic as we can. And they sponsor a couple people who sponsor one and who sponsor one. Say 6 months later, you have 50 people in your whole group using the products and liking them. You're getting a residual check every month. Say you're not SEMD, you're nothing. You just got 40, 50 people in the group. They're sending you a check for $500, $600, $700 a month, and all you're doing is using your products. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a realistic scenario. And I tell people, man, if you can't live with that, then don't get in. The guys, right now, the buzz, everybody's getting in. It's just a matter, the deal is now, we talked about it this morning on our call. We have a play of the day call every day that we do. The thing now is how many people can we get to? It's not will they get in, it's how many can we get to. And that's why we started to do this Ustream, to reach out, to a lot more people. But the last thing that I want to talk about, and the last thing I want to close with, is this. Number 1 is timing. Timing right now is really cool. You could go talk to 20 people right now, and I don't think any of them have heard of Doc Wallach, 90 for Life, Youngevity, which is pretty neat. When you look at that as a company that's as old as ours, it's like an 18-year-old publicly held company that feels like it's 2 years old. And we talked about the old versus the new. It's like we have it all. We have the security and foundation of an older, publicly held, rock-solid company doing over $100 million in sales. It's like buying a franchise. Andrioli was talking about that this morning. You buy a franchise. Some franchises cost you $100,000. And what you bought yourself is a job. And in this deal, you can kind of look at it that way. It costs you $499. And you're plugging into a $100 million publicly held company. You find $100 worth of products that you're already using and use them. You'll max out the bonuses. It's ridiculous. There's not another, you can't find a newspaper or magazine or find a help wanted way to make money business opportunity that does that, because they all take either time or money. And this is why this to me just lets an average person like Barb and myself make obscene amounts of money if you want to. And at the same time, you're helping so many people health-wise. You can't bring people into this business and not help them health-wise. That's one of the coolest, that's one of the neatest parts of the business. Training-wise, a lot of people say, well, Dave, how do you do it? How do you sponsor people? How do you get started? What's the whole deal? And guys, in most programs, this guy tells this guy, who tells this guy, who tells this guy, who tells this guy. And it's like us going around this room. You played it in 2nd grade. I whisper in I'll whisper in Barb's ear. Oh, I'm whispering Junior's. I whisper in Barb's ear, and we tell Barb a story, and it goes around the room, and it gets over to Junior. Will he tell the same story? No, that's how training and network marketing usually goes. This guy is not doing the same thing the guy making all the money's doing, and that's a bottleneck in the industry. And what we've done is we've eliminated that. The day you join, you're plugged into the same system that I'm using, that Barb's using, the Junior is using. Everybody's doing the same thing. And when everybody's speaking from the same hymnal, it doesn't matter what meeting you go to, what call you're on, it's the same consistent message. That's so powerful. Because then it's like, it's a huge confidence builder. Everybody knows what to do. And that's the kind of training system that we have. So, with that said, what's next? I encourage you all to get in. I know there's a ton of people tuned in, and this is recorded tonight. I actually was smart enough to hit record. First few nights, I didn't. There's a lot of people watch me do a presentation and literally go, you know what, I don't really understand anything he said, but if he can do it, I know I can do the business. So if I came across that way, good, accomplished. I'm not that smart. I don't consider myself some smart, slick willy business guy. I was a 20-year-old kid that got shown an opportunity, but I was the luckiest guy in the world to be plugged into a system, and I was naive enough to believe that if I did it, it would work. And there's a lot of people that have lost that belief. When you're 10 years old and you want to be a fireman, there ain't nobody can tell you you're not going to be a fireman. And the older you get, the more people tell you no, the more you just kind of settle into that. This is who I am. This is all I can have. I mean, we just want to bust out of that. We think it's stupid. Who says you got to work your fingers to the bone every day of your life just to pay the bills? It's stupid. And that's why I love Youngevity, because the products, they help millions of people. We already have. The internet's just plagued with testimonies of how products have changed their lives. And when you get in, you get those products immediately. If you're not in, ask somebody. They'll give you some tonight. Don't take the energy stuff though tonight. Wait till tomorrow. But this thing was recorded tonight, so if you want to plug back in and watch it anytime, or send it to somebody and they want to watch it, just once this is over, you can dial right back into the same deal. And next Wednesday we'll do this again, but from now to next Wednesday, this meeting will be live on the same channel that you just tuned into, and you guys can use the same thing. It's one cool way if people want to show the planner, send it out, they can. We also have DVDs. The company is just loaded with tools and information and ways to build the business. But keep it simple, man. I mean, keep it so simple. It's just so easy. When you understand what the products are, you switch where you shop. Everybody does the same thing. It's really a breeze. So, Barb, do you have anything to add? Or are we good?
I want to jump up and talk.
Well, I'm sure you do. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I think get in, tell everybody you know what you're doing.
Right. So if you guys, obviously if you have any questions, get with the person that got you tuned in. You guys that are sitting here, you don't have to do that because people are here. But I can't tell you guys. Every morning at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m., we do a call called Play of the Day. We have amazing guests. The president of the company was actually our guest this morning. And I have guests the rest of the week that are they're just awesome. It's awesome to hear people's stories and success stories. Hit us up on Facebook and like our Dave and Barb Pitcock marketing page, and you'll get a ton of information. As far as the Play of the Day calls, there's training calls, there's a ton of stuff to plug into if you want to. There's meetings that we do live, there's these meetings. Like I said, it's if you guys want to get in and build this in the next 90 days as hard as you can, you can. You could literally change your financial future. But you can't be like most people and get in a network marketing company. You talk to one person in the next 2 months. I mean, you actually have to do something, and that's where we'll coach you and teach you, and we'll pick up the slack and we'll help you do that. So with that said, I hope you all make it a super night, and get in. That's all I got. Thank you. All right. My Youngevity coffee got cold during the presentation.
No, it's sitting there and quit steaming.
Yeah, I know. I hope you guys enjoyed the Ustream. Like I said, any questions or anything, get with the person that showed you this, and get on board, man. We got a lot of fun stuff going on, and everybody's getting in. So we'll chat with you guys later.